the Miamisburg Middle School Jazz Band. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got 3 songs for you. We're going to get started with Moten Swing, as made famous by the Count Basie Band. Here we go. Yeah, ready? And a 1, 2, and a 1, 2, give us just a second. We'll be back with our second song. Okay. All right, for our next selection here, we're going to play a famous tune by Broadway composer Cole Porter. But this tune was actually made even more famous than in Cole Porter's plays by a singer that you might have heard of in Frank Sinatra. So this is a lovely little Latin treatment of I've Got You Under My Skin. All right, ready? And yeah, trumpets one more. Yeah, that's good. That's be a lot better. Cool. Will, can you move yours to the side a little bit? Yeah. Here we go. And 1, 2, and not too fast. Here we go. club. All of these students are in their first or second year of playing. They're all either 7th or 8th graders. Now, you might be thinking, a couple of the saxes look a little old for 7th or 8th graders. I may or may not have borrowed some former students because we're a little light in the saxophone department, but, you know. So I just sent them an email and conscripted them, and I said, would you like to come play jazz with the middle school students? And they said, oh my gosh, yes. And so they're awesome kids. So give our special guest artist a hand. Students, raise your hand if you're in the 7th grade. So our 7th graders are only in their second year of even playing their instruments. So let's go. Raise your hand if you're in the 8th grade. Very nice. But wait, there's more. Raise your hand if you're in the 6th grade. Aha! So, like I said, we're a one-day-a-week after-school club, just sort of giving the students a chance to kind of experience what it's like to play in a different style. So it's really a lot of fun. I have a blast working with these guys after school every Tuesday. So before we play our last tune, let me just thank you so much for being here. It's so awesome to see the comments just filled with families supporting our band program. So thank you again so much for being here. Our last tune needs no introduction. This is A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. Good. Cool. Trumpets, keep them out of stands, okay? Cool. Here we go. And... Did you get a signature? 1, 2, and 1, 2, here we go. Awesome. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Our next performance will be right back here on the Fine Arts Festival on that Saturday morning. What is that? April 20th. May 3rd. May 3rd, that's what I said, May 3rd. So right back here, on Saturday morning, May 3rd. We'll send out, if you're a jazz band parent, we'll send out a little bit more details as we get closer. So, thank you so very much for joining us tonight, and have a great evening. We'll be back here with our high school jazz band in about a half hour. Yeah, give them a minute.
Yeah, Mr. Winter.